do let me know. Try the internet went down and we're like, I got Scott and Leanne here. We're like running around trying to fix it. Unplug it and plug it back in. That's the only thing I know how to. I know how to fix the internet, but hopefully we will be back and it will work this time. I'm really hoping that we're not gonna have any problems. Do let me know in the comments if you're here, if you're finding me, if you're coming back in, and we can get started. Oh, Lucy's welcome back. Yes, Lucy's here, so we are good then. Just gonna hang out for a couple of minutes, just chat. Actually, we could pop you down the mat, or back now, or loads of people of you are coming back now. That's good. Good morning, Camille, Mina again, Annie, back with you. Robin, we are back. All good. Right. What I'm gonna do, quickly need to move back my windows here. That's the back end we don't need. And then I'm gonna pop you over to the website. We have got it's something like when this happens, when like the internet throws you off, you always kind of like it throws you off the whole, like you had like these things what we want to do, and let me pop you over to the website. I'm gonna show you, and then I got we create all sorts of different patterns, right? Okay, I'll put it back on OneDrive later. Right, okay, so let's pop over to the website. So by now, you know the drill. When we go over to the website, you need to go on totallybeads.co.uk, and I'm going to pop back to this because I want to show you that box just in a second. So today's video tutorial is 10 a.m. I'm going to be try to be quick about this Peyote bracelets. There we go. Now we do have this box here, and I'm going to show you. This is again on offer down to £3.50, and it's really nice to store your beads in. Very easy to get onto them, and it's perfect for these packs. These are the slider ends, what we're going to be using. I haven't added lobster clasp or jump rings to the category because I thought, like most of you probably have got some, you can find some jump rings or lobster clasp in your stash at home. Now I'm going to pop into this first one. This is there's 10 different shades of pinks, so it doesn't come in the boxes itself, but we have photographed it in the boxes because I love those storage boxes. It comes in little bags, but to show you off best how they look like, we're taking them in photos in little pots, because if you put like little man standing to the mat and trying to photograph it, you know what's going to happen. It's all going to mix up. Right, each one of them, we're doing these packs, and we're going to do quite a few projects with these packs. So at the moment, this is the first one. We're doing these Peyote bracelets, but we are going to be doing beaded beads. We're going to be doing all sorts of other things. So you're always going to get, when you purchase the kit, you're always going to get the current pattern and instructions with the kit as well. So I'm just gonna click on this one. So this is the pattern what we created for the pink one, and you can pop into, and I'll show you the patterns all separately. I'm gonna pop into the embers. There's a different pattern for the amber, so that pattern comes with the amber. The pink one comes with that pattern. We haven't got any plans to put the patterns on separately on the website. Sometime probably we will, but at the moment not yet. So they're just coming with the packs themselves and the colors. I love this pattern. I got a little bit of swatch made up of this one, and at the moment we are, and this is the bracelet I'm wearing, which I'm going to show you just in a second. Some of them are a little bit easier in terms of like you adding the same color beads in each one of the rows. Some of them are a little bit more intermediate. It's not advanced here. When you like this one, when you have to think about where your row is going. So have a look at the patterns and have a look at which one you fancy doing first, and get that pack. Now, one pack of beads is going to make you more than one bracelet. You can use the colors as they are, or you can use kind of like swap the colors how you want to have them. You don't have to have them how I imagined. Which one we were looking at? The last one, was it this one? No, we had the blue one, so this is the next blue one, the brilliant blue. No, this is the one we were looking at. So copper, I love this one as well with the little arrows on there. There is so many different things you can do with Peyote stitch. There is so many different patterns you can work out, and I love this one. We've done a little swatch of this one as well. Very, very pretty. Modesty, just gonna pop into this one again. I love these waves, and I love all the, and to be honest, I would love to take credits for all these colorways, how they've been designed, but actually this one is a joint project with Leanne, and look at these butterflies, and she's the one who's been designing the patterns themselves. The clever little cookie, she's just sitting on the table opposite me, she just popped her head up. So it's really nice to, I done the technique and I done the instructions on the technique, and she's been looking at how, she's so good with colors. She's really, really good with colors. Right, okay, so let's have a look at this last three now. Since we are here, I'm just very quickly gonna click on them. So this is like an easier pattern because the stripes are going vertical on the bracelet. And then let's look at the top. Oh, I love this one. I really do love this one. This is like a little bit more intermediate, but you got the pattern there. You can follow it, no problem at all. And last but not least is the violet. And here we got larger triangles. Again, this is one of those easier ones, but it's really up to you what you fancy doing. So have a look in the category there, and what I want you to bring your attention, if you get any of the bundles, we have got a stunning 25% off of them. So from $19.99 then go down to $14.99. But if you want to pop one of these organizer boxes, and I'm just got here, pop one of these organizer boxes. These are the smaller ones. They are the perfect for these treasure beads or Delica beads or any or size 15s and any smaller beads as well, but they can keep you very organized as well. And what I usually do if I get pots like this, and I will show you on my pot, I would take the sticky label off of the bag and stick it onto the pot, so I know exactly what I have got on there. Pauline is asking which is the easiest one. So the aqua is quite easy. Let me just come back down to my screen and we're gonna go down. So let me just actually bring in this picture, because this is all, is it thinking about it? Yes. This is all the different patterns all together. So how much can I zoom out, zoom in? I'm going to zoom out just a tiny bit so you can see the top ones as well. So the aqua is quite easy. The antique rose is quite easy. The amber is more intermediate. Brilliant blues, copper, again, I think it's more, and forest skin more intermediate. Oops. No, I was trying to check it. There is a little bit more intermediate. The teal is very easy. That one is a really easy one. The pink, but then because the way how the pattern are, and I'll show you the pattern just in a second, that you can really easily follow it, either the word chart or the colors themselves. Right, I'm gonna close this picture down, and then we're gonna start. But one pot of each hair, Lucy's saying. Hello, Charlotte. Oh, amber looks like honeycombs. Absolutely, I love that one as well. Right, okay, so I'm going to turn you down on the mat, and I'm very quickly going to bring, so when you get your pattern, you get your picture chart at the front. They will tell you all the numbers, what number relates to what in the pattern, and then after that you got your word charts. So if you want to follow it, you can go follow from row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now a quick hack for you before we get started. I like to use a ruler. If I'm following the word chart, I like to use a ruler and always pull it down, so very easily I can identify which row am I working on. And then you got all the word chart all the way to the end, and then we even have a little separate, I haven't printed those one out, two little pages of instructions how to do peyote stitch, and then how to, where shall I put this, how to attach the clasp on itself. We're going to be using this beautiful cider clasp, and there's a little hack at the end how you need to sort of create an extra row. And let me just zoom in on this actually so you can see it better. how you can get a really neat edge with these ones. I just really do love them. Now this is the aqua. I do love this one. This is one of the easiest ones, and actually we didn't even decide what we're going to demo with. I'm just gonna have to grab one of them, but very quickly want to show you. So this is how the beads are going to be coming. So this is Tropical Sunset, and all the colors I went backwards and forwards and changed them again, and then changed them back again and then changed them a little bit more, but they all come with the sticker what they are, and they all will have like more than one shades in there. So here we got reds, and then we go into the orange, and then we go into the yellows themselves as well. I love this really nice and sunshine yellow, and even going to like sort of like a banana cream as well. So just zoom out a tiny bit. You have got a really good selection to make any patterns you like, and we're going to do beaded beads, we're going to do other bits of pieces as well. So just really, you know, it's just really nice. So this is one of them. And then I'm going to show you another one. Which one shall I like? I've got so many here. I want to show you all of them, but then we will be here sitting just for an hour picking out the beads. Like this is the aqua, and this is another good tip that I want to point out to you before you start. Write the letter on there, which one is that particular bead in your diagram. And what I like to do, I like to put this out on my mat, and I would put it like in alphabetical order, like A, where is B? B, C, D, E, F. Now I'm thinking like, can I spell? Can I do the alphabet? There we go. So I would put them up in alphabetical order on my mat, and I would only take out a tiny bit of seed bead from each one of them and in front of it. And when I'm doing my pattern, then I can very quickly refer back to which number I'm working, because some of these patterns, especially if you're doing something like this, and I'm going to zoom back on this one, you're going to be using quite a few colors at the same time. So it just makes sense to organize yourself before you get started. This is the, I love this one. This is the, which one? What was this one called? Sorry, let me just get with the names. Antique Rose. This one is called. That's right. I really do love how they, and just by blending the two colors a tiny bit together, they just really makes your bracelet a little bit more interesting. So this is the monochrome, and I only got little swatches because they do. I kind of like wanted to do every single one of them, but I couldn't really decide which one to do. Again, very easy, and that's how your patterns are going to be turning out. And that's the first screen again with the stripes as well. Oh, Lucy's saying, oh dear, I got another full basket. A glorious sunshine on the beach in Spain. Oh, Sharon, we're so jealous. Right, which color shall we demo with? Do let me know in the comments which color do you want me to demo with. I'm gonna bring up, there we go. Should we put the picture back on there? Hold on, there we go. I'm gonna throw this picture back in here, and hopefully, yeah, there we go. So which color do you want me to demo with? We could do an easier one. I'll just zoom out a little bit so we can see all of them. So we've got aqua, antique rose, amber, brilliant dew, copper, forest green, azure, monochrome, olive garden, pink, teal, tanzanite, tropical sunset. I love the modesty, very sort of nice, and the sea green. I love the sea green as well. Blue, azure. Lindsay's saying, oops, I just got aqua and antique rose. Do I look lovely? Absolutely. Shall we go like a slightly easier one so you can get the stitch very easily? And then if you have time, we can still go and do something a little bit more difficult. Fine, let's see. Can we see? I think if I zoom out completely so you can see all the colors, it will become quite quite small. So shall we do the teal, because those colors are quite stand out or tropical sun says tropical. We could do the tropical, that's no problem. And I got actually the beads right out here as well. So let me just pop this aqua to the side. There we go. And then get myself organized. I am gonna open up the instructions for that one. Very good. Tropical sunset. There we go. Right, so the first thing I am gonna do is organize my beads very, very quickly, and then we're gonna start making. Now, if you are a visual learner, you can just follow the diagrams themselves, or you can follow the word chart. Some people prefer one, and some people prefer the other one. So I'm just going to grab a pen and I'm very quickly going to write on them what number is what. So this one is going to be our A. So I'm just going to write an A on there. That's going to be just there. 906 is our B. So I'm going to write a B on here and pop it there. You can swap the colors if you want to. You can really make it into the color what you wanted to do. C is 905. So very quickly, I'm just identifying which color each bit. 128 is our, there we go, B, that's our D. And then 902F is our E. F is 405. There we go. 50F is our, and the 50F, the number I'm looking at is just the last. Come on, camera. I want you to focus on my table. There we go. 50F, this is the number where I'm looking right at the end. So this is G. And then the next one we got 45 is H. So I'm just marking them all up. Then we got 901, which is I. And then we have got J, which is this one. Well, this is the last one, so it has to be J. So I lined them all up, and I'm just going to go and open them all up and just pour a little bit on my mat. Probably we're not going to need all of them just right at the beginning, because we're going to be starting like A's, B's, and C's. But let me just zoom out to show you. So I just lined it all up, and then I'm just going to take and I'm going to open up my bags, and I'm just going to take a few beads out at a time. You don't really need a lot of beads out, so you don't need the whole pack out, and you're definitely not going to be using the whole pack for one bracelet. Is going to make you quite a few. And don't forget, with the bracelet, the good thing about this one, that you can extend it, so you could make your pattern up, go all the way around, and have I did add a little extension chain here, just made with jump rings, but you could make that sections quite bigger as well. So if you do make jewelry for other people, if you do make jewelry to sell, then this is a good way, or something like this is really great, because you can make them all, I don't know, 5 inches, 6 inches, whichever size you want to make them, and then add a couple of inches of extension chain on there, and then people can wear it to the size they need to wear it at. Right, I'm just very quickly gonna pop these out onto my mat. I love these beads, and when I was putting them together, I made sure that throughout the packs that you get some of the beads with would be matte finish, some of the beads would be rainbow finish, some of the beads would be luster, some of them would be opaque, so you get a really good range of finishes throughout the pack. I just really wanted to introduce you to all sorts of different finishes, because sometimes when you're putting two beads together, it's not just the color what matters, but it matters about what sort of finish they have on there as well. Right, so I'm just gonna pick up the last one. It's quite easy. We're gonna start with 10 beads. You can't see my last one. Let me just, no, I can't sort of move. I'll move the camera just a tiny bit for you. There we go. So I got all 10 colors. I got tiny little piles in front of them, and then we're gonna get started making. I'm just gonna grab a thread. I keep moving this little tray of threads. So when I'm gonna use a thread, I'm gonna use like a neutral one. So we got yellows, we got reds, we got oranges in there. So equally, I could use a red thread. I haven't got an orange thread, have I? I got yellow. I got no orange thread. My orange thread is disappeared. Oh no, I got one. I got one right at the bottom. I don't use this one very much. There's orange. You could use like something like a cream or equally like a beige color as well. Any of those colors would go very well with your beadwork. I kind of like to use something in the middle, which is not going to stand out too much on the reds or too much on the yellows as well. So let's go with the orange one, because I don't use the orange so often. Let's go with that one. So I'm just going to grab a needle and thread my needle. Oh, Sheila, thank you so much for the stars. Really, really appreciated. Right, Nina is giving us a tip. I did this for my rainbow Toho bundle. Like, you mean, Mina, putting the mat on your mat, or you mean like the bracelet itself? Do let us know. Oh, Lucy's saying, I got Rose, Modesty, and Violet. Oh, bless you. And did I just drop the needle? No, there it is. Oh, Sheila's saying, morning, everybody, I'm looking for this. So, Sheila, we just actually started not that long ago with a little bit of a meltdown with the internet. I don't know what happened, but internet went down, and then we had to run around and trying to fix it. But it's touch wood, and I don't know I don't know which side of which wood shall I touch around me, which desk, but it's all right at the moment. Right, I'm just cutting the end of the thread again to make it a little bit pointy, and then there we go. So we're going to start off with our pattern. I'm just going to leave it out until I pick up the first row, and then I'm going to zoom in for you so you can really see it, what we're doing. So as the pattern says, we need to pick up 2A. So I'm going to come here and pick up 2A. Then it says 3 B's. So I'm going to pick up, it says 2 B's. So I'm going to pick up 2 B's. Then it says I need to pick up 3 C's. So I'm going to pick up 3 C's. And at the moment, like when I put them together, so some of the colors looks very close to each other, but once you start your pattern, they're gonna be like, you're gonna see the difference. And then we need 2 B's and then 1 A. This is our first row, and this is all in the pattern. So I got the monochrome here. Where did I put it? So I got the monochrome here. I haven't printed the tropical art, only got it in the computer, but you can see that will be your row 1 and 2. And you're just going to follow that pattern. And then we're going to turn around, take this all the way down, and then we're going to come back on ourselves. So I'm going to zoom in so you can really see what I'm doing. And there we go. And then I'm just going to I have to move my hand to pick up some of the beads. So row 3, so row 1 and 2 is the one, your starter row, and then we're gonna go into row 3, which is I'm gonna need to pick up 1 B. I'm gonna miss out the very last bead of the previous row and go through the second one. Now the only thing what can happen when you're picking up your pattern and when you're starting your pattern, that your rows is twisting. So I quite like to hold on to my beadwork on my hand and just grab hold of to the end of it, and always the bit what I did, I just hold it between my thumb and index in the middle finger there. And then I'm gonna go and pick up 1 C. I'm gonna miss the next bead on there and go through so miss the third one and going through the fourth one. Just the fourth one I wanna go through. Then next one, we have to pick up 1 D. I'm going to pull this up, and when you pull this up tight, you can see that they're just going to sit side by side, just like that, just like little bricks. There we go. Can we zoom in a little bit more on this? There we go. So you're going to sit side by side. Right, okay, so the third bead is going to be 1D. So I'm picking up a D. Again, I'm going to miss the next one. I'm just going to pull that towards me and go through the one after that. Just like that. The next bead is going to be 1C. I'm just pulling it down, again holding it down. So I'm picking up a C. And then I'm going to miss one again, so I'm going to pull the next one down towards me, and I'm going to go through the one after that. Just put it down a bit more so it stops sliding. There we go. Just like that. Then I've got 2 more beads on here, and my last bead is going to be a B. So I'm going to pick a B up, I'm going to move this down and go through the next. There we go. And now I'm going to turn around and come back on myself. I'm going to let my tail end go now because I got a little bit of beadwork to hold onto it here. So we're going to start our 4th row, which we need 1B. Yes, 1B. And I think this is twisted. So we want to have that side. Let me just pop back to the top of the chart. So when you start your beadwork, the other thing what you can do, you can pop back and just have a look which side is up and which side is down, and compare this to the very top of your picture. And we need to go on this side. There we go. So we're going to start with 1B. And then just this time is so much easier what we're doing because the beads we need to go through, they are sticking out. Come on, camera, I want you to focus on my hand. There we go. Then after the 1B, I'm going to pick up 1C. And again, it's really easy because the bead I need to go, I'm going to miss this one out, and the bead I need to go out is sticking out. Then I'm going to pick up 1D. And I think this one should be that way. There we go. And go through the next one. There we go. Let the end go. Then we're going to pick up another D and go through the next one. Then we're going to pick up 1C. And this I'm all reading from the chart. I'm not making this up as I go along. I'm reading for the chart. So the chart is there for you. And then we're going to turn around again. And I'm going to do maybe 2 or 3 more rows, and you can see how is this forming. Thank you, the glorious gang on Totally Beads tutorial. I'll start again, and he's saying. So there we go. I'm going to turn it around. So now we are into row 5, and I'm going to pick up, because actually let me just move this up. That's it. So I've got like the top of the page is my virtual ruler, because I do put my ruler and like sort of move it down row by row, so very easily I can identify which row I'm in. So 1C, I'm going to start with 1C, and again the beads are sticking out. Then I'm going to pick up 1D, go through the next one. Then I'm going to pick up 1E, and you can already see actually how is it forming, how, and like now I'm putting 2 yellow beads next to each other, which are like they're quite similar in color, but because one of them is a shiny finish, let me just wrap this around, one of them is a shiny finish and the other one is a non-shiny finish. It is, come on camera, I think because I got the beads right behind them, trying to focus on it, it's going to show up very well. Then the next one is going to be a D, and finally we're going to add a C on there. Right, I know what I'm going to do because the red is quite strong there. Let me just finish this one bead. So I'm just adding the last bead, and I'm just going to move those beads a little bit further up, just outside. And can you see that our pattern is already started? I'm just going to move those beads just outside of our, so the camera is not going to be constantly trying to focus on it. There we go. I need one of my little triangles. What did I do them? Can you pass my oh, there they are. They're all here. So I'm just going to take my triangles and very quickly move these beads further up, so we're not going to have a problem with the camera trying to focus on the beads in the background. There we go. Make sure that they're not mixing up. We don't want them to mix and mingle. Shirley saying, do you ever use a bead loom? I would like to just try something to use a bead loom. Yes, absolutely. We have had we were going to do some lives with bead looms because we got some bead looms in, and then before I got around to do the live with the bead loom sold out. But I get Simon to get some more in, and then we absolutely can do. I love a bead loom project as well. Right, next row is going to be row 6. So I need a 1C again, and you can already see how the colors, how the stripes are behaving. Then we need 1D. Then we need 2 E's. And once you made a bracelet, or once you done a few rows, you're not just getting used to, I guess, your pattern, but you are getting used to the colors you're using as well. So your process will speed up. How long do you think it will take one bracelet? Michelle is asking. It's up to you how long you are going to be making it. I would say probably about 2 to 3 hours, depending on the length. So that's row 6 is done, and then I'm turning around with row 7, starting with 1D. Then we need 1E, and then we are going to add eyes. 1E. Just make sure it's nice and tight. There we go. Can you see how the pattern is already coming together? So then we're gonna need, so we got 1D, 1E, we need 1I. So bringing colors from further down as well. Then we are 1E. But if you need to tighten your row up because for some reason your beads come undone, always pull on the last bead from the row before, and that will tighten the previous row and the row you're working. And then I'm hold on to my beads and I'm just pulling back on my working bead, so I can tighten both of those rows up. Right, 1E, and the last one is 1D. So that's another row run. Each row, you start with row 1 and 2, so you start with 10 beads, and in each row, you just adding 5 beads. So again, we need 1D, and then we need 1E, but it's all in the pattern as well. It's really easy to follow. There we go, just pull this up nice and tight. Then we need 2I. Robin is asking for a male version in the monochrome. Will there be side the clasp? Do or need to suggest a different closure? No, for a male version as well, I would do a side clasp, but I would do you could do all sorts of different patterns you wanted to do. You could do arrows, you could do just stripes, you could really, the possibilities with something like this are really endless. And the last one is an E. Can you see how the pattern is starting to form? I'm going to turn around, I'm going to do a couple more rows, and then I'll show you how to add the end. So I'm starting with an E. Then I got 1I, 1J, we're going down to J. And back to the, let's add the 1J. That's our lovely sort of banana cream color. And then we are back to the eye. So each of one of these kits, we got, you know me, I had to do like so many different ones. Like I couldn't just have like 3 colorways. No, that's not me. So we got 17 different colorways. The last one is an E on this one. And we got 17 different patterns. So each one of the colorways come with a pattern. Now next row, we're gonna start with a 1D. We're gonna put 1 eye. Let me just get rid of that little knot from my thread. I'm gonna have 1 eye, then 2 J's, and then 1 eye at the end. So 1 eye, 2 J's. Very easy to follow the pattern. Like I love following the the instructions got both. So you got a visual pattern and you got a word chart as well. So it's depending on what you would prefer, you could follow that. Right, there we go. I usually start that with the word chart, and after probably a few rows in, I just switch to the visual pattern, and you can see how that's starting to bead. Shall we do another couple of rows? I'm just gonna because it's a little bit twisted, so I'm just going to untwist it. Shall we do a couple? Let me know if you want me to do a couple more rows, or shall we move on to, and I show you how to add the ends. I know a little bit later today because we had this mishap with the naughty internet this morning, but we are here now. Can you get the patterns without beads? Panel is asking. Not at the moment. Maybe later on we will be offering it, but not at the moment. We just it was a lot of work just to get all of the patterns for each one of the colors, because we had to like sort of to take all the colors in, and then Leanne was making like a pictures of each one of them, and it's just we probably will some point down the line, but at the moment you get a different pattern with every single one of the bundles you want to buy, or right, there we go. I'm just going to add this row. So what shall we do? Shall we move on to the end, or do you want me to do a couple more rows so you can see how the pattern grows? There we go. And he's asking, do instructions come with a pack? Absolutely. So you get the instructions will be emailed to you. So we're trying to do, because they are quite a few pages, so there's 6 pages to each one of the instructions, and we kind of like trying to cut down on printing and sort of better for the environment, and have and go, eventually the plan is to go paperless, but I think we are quite a long way from being able to go paperless. But I've got 1D, 1 eye. At the same time, I'm trying to do the pattern as I'm talking to you. No, 3 trays. That's what we need. I'm on the wrong row now. The pattern will be emailed to you, and the reason why I really wanted this as an email pattern rather than a printed out pattern, because if you got the digital copy, you can print out your pattern as many times as you want to, and then you can mark things up on there. So you can go ahead and add all sorts of things, like for example, I'm saying, like if you're following I know this is the monochrome, you could cross out the beads you added. If you're following the word chart, you could cross out the numbers you added, you'll put a tick next to it, and then if you have got the digital copy, then you can print it out as many times as you need or to want it. Right, I think we're going to move on, and we're going to add the end onto this one. I'm going to show you this side. We have got enough beads there just to sort of hold on, so we can add our little clasp on there. Right, let me just add the bead in we need on here, which the last one is going to be an eye. And then, there we go. And then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to take a little bit more thread off my bobbin. You only need probably about the feet or so. You don't need so much for the end, because all we're going to be doing, we're going to be adding an extra row here of beading, but it's going to be somewhat different from peyote stitch, because we need that row to be straight and we need to be able to slide the clasp over, because as it stands now, and I'm just going to grab one of these cider clasps, let's grab a rose gold one. So as it stands now, if this was my, let me just hold this nice and tight. So if this was my last row, I would not be able to slide the clasp over it, because the clasp has got a really nice ridge inside it, but it wants to go over a straight line of bead. And once, if I go between the first and the second bead here, butt against the bead in the next row. So what we need to do is, I got to my end here. Now it doesn't matter what color beads you're going to do this with. I'm going to do this with really dark ones so you can see what I'm doing, because these beads are going to be inside your tube, so you're not going to see them at all. So as you are coming out of this bead here, you're just going to jump up and you're going to turn your thread around, and without picking up any beads, you're going to go back on that very first bead. Then we're going to pick up one treasure bead and we're going to go through this bead one more time. So when I pull this up, this extra bead just going to sit on top of that bead. Can we zoom in a little bit more? I'm just going to sit on top of that bead. Now we need to follow our thread path that we created before. We're going to jump into the row. I want to get to this next bead which is sticking out. So I'm going to jump in one, and then I'm going to come back out. Can you see the next one? I want to add an extra bead on. Then I'm going to repeat it, picking up one bead and just going to go through that bead one more time. And then I'm going to get to the next one which is sticking out. So I'm just creating like a little pillars right here at the end. And I'm going to run all the way down, adding 5 beads, 1 bead on each one of the beads which is sticking out. So kind of like a little bit like a square stitch or back stitch, just adding the extra bead onto the top. And there we go. And then I'm going to pick up the next one and go through this very last one. There we go. And now I'm going to turn around. So I'm going to turn my bracelet around and I'm going to come back on myself. So I created these little pillars. Now I want to fill the gaps in between the pillars. So I'm going to go back through the first one. I'm going to pick up a bead, go through the second one. So I'm just creating little bridges all the way down. Pick up another one, go through the next one, pick up another one, go through the next one, pick up another one, go through the last one. And then I'm going to pick up one more bead. I'm going to turn my beadwork around again. I'm going to ignore this bead I just picked up, and I'm going to go back through all 9 beads in front of me, just like that. So I'm just going to go back through all 9 of them and pull this up nice and tight. And I got caught. I caught my other thread. Let me just take this out. There we are. So I'm going to pull this up. So this last bead just going to sit here at the end. This is just sort of keep the same amount of length. So once we are adding the clasp on the end, which I have got like here on this monochrome one, this doesn't move up and down. It just keeps the right amount of space. Now I'm going to turn my bracelet around again. I'm going to ignore this very last one. And from the 2nd to the 10th, I'm going to go all the way through again, like every single one of them. Then I'm going to turn my bracelet around one more time. Again, ignore this last one. I like to go through these 2 or 3 times to really straighten these beads up. And this will be the last time I'm going through, because I can feel as I'm pushing my needle through, each time you're creating a thread path in there, it will be harder and harder to push your needle through. So now it's a nice sort of amount, and my row is very, very straight there. Then I'm going to take my needle and I'm just going to weave my thread back into my bracelet, following any thread path I have created before. I'm just going to run up and down a couple of times, and that will be secure enough for your thread to be able to, so you can just cut off. It's not gonna, we went through that last row so many times that it's really nice and secure. Let me just go back. You can go 2 or 3 beads at the same time. There we go. And the next 3, and I'm just gonna get to the other side, and I'm just gonna trim my thread here, and then we are ready to add the clasp on. There we go. So take your findings, and this comes in all sorts of different colors. So we got rose gold, like you can really probably, maybe that's rose gold, this is champagne gold. Maybe actually champagne gold would look nicer. All the gold would look nice with it, but equally we do have got silver, we do have gunmetal black and rhodium color as well. So these are the 6 colors we stock in this slider, and there's a couple of sizes of this slider. This is the smaller one, the 40 ml one. You can't see it. You want to get. So which one shall I put on? I think maybe actually this color goes, the champagne gold goes the best with it as well. So this is like a little tube. It's got 2 ends, and it's got like a little hook there, what you can hook your lobster clasp and your jump rings into. Now, one of the sides are open, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our bead, and we're going to side this last row all the way in. Just zoom out a tiny bit so the camera can focus. Slide this last row into this finding, this slider closure as well. So I'm just going to take, it doesn't matter if you slide it from this side or if you slide it from this side, it's really up to you. So I'm just going to pop this last bead in, and I'm very easily, sometimes you might need to wiggle it up and down a bit, but it's very easily, it goes on there all the way down. And once you are on there, you're just going to take a pair of pliers, and I'm just going to close that end in all the way. So then my beads can no longer, I'm just going to sort of squeeze down on it from each one of the angles. Those beads are no longer can come out, and I have got a very nice and neat edge to my bracelet, like on this one as well. I really do love, because it gives you a very clean edge. Like, you know, there is no beads are hanging out anywhere, and you know, very easy to, even if later on you decided you want a different color finding on it, you can always open up the end of this, slide this off the bracelet, and add something else onto it. So you could do all sorts of different stuff, or use your strip of beading for something else, another beadwork you want. Right, okay, I got questions here, so I'm going to go through them before I go. So Norma is asking, how do you join a new thread? So if I come to that, my thread runs out, I simply run backwards and forwards, like snake backwards and forwards, maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4 times. So I go down, up, maybe down, and then just cut my thread off, because that is then secure enough, because you went through so many beads that it can't pull backwards. So you can, you know, and then the new thread, I would do the same as well. And in fact, usually what I do, I go in with a new thread, with the tail end of the new thread, sew that one off, and then I sew my working thread off, which I was working and it's too small, and then I carry on with the new thread and bead sort of further down. But it really does give you a very lovely pattern to work with, and I really do. I enjoy this, like the beach huts we did. Not that where are my beach huts actually? Yeah. Do you know where my beach huts are? Can you see them anywhere? If you can get them out for me. She's just gonna grab.
I've seen them.
She said she's seen them somewhere.
Because I've seen them on there this morning online, or if I've seen them around.
I know. Yesterday I was tidying up so much, that we've been moving things around, and she's gonna have a look. So we done the beach huts about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they were really enjoyable to do as well. It's just really nice and easy beading, and I just love how these treasure beads do fit together. Like they create this beautiful pattern. Just like that, and you're just gonna go each row by row, you're gonna add them on them. Lucy's saying I love the project. Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. Right, okay, let's have a look back. If you got any more question. Mina's saying she made a few rainbow ones, and she loved it. Would this be okay for beginner? Absolutely, June. This is like, there's different patterns, and I'm gonna bring the patterns back one more time and then show it to you all, because the reason how we did this, there is 17 different packs on the website, but oh, and it's just gone. Let's put it back in. They are different. Look at the pattern. So when you go into the website, you can see, let's just zoom out so we can see right on top of it. Look at the pattern. Something like the aqua, where the stripes going side to side, or the antique rose, really, really easy to do. Beginners, because you're going to be picking up pretty much like 5 in the aqua. You're picking the same 5 beads in every single row. The antique rose, then it's like on some of the rows you got where like 2 different colors are mixed together, but no more than 2 colors mixed in one row. So that's again a very, very easy one. And then you get your, like, you know, the amber, but looking at the pattern, all of them are quite easy to follow once you get on with it. The teal is very, very easy one, beginner's one. We just been doing the tropical sunset. That's the one we just started off, like right at the top, one of these beautiful, I'm not really sure, like shaded ombre, little balls in the middle, orbs. The tropical sunset, this should be quite this, all of them, like, you know, they not, none of them are really hard. The pinks are quite easy as well, because you got large triangles going on. But you could equally cut down on colors if you want to, and you say, well, I'm not gonna do, I don't know, I'm just gonna put 3 or 4 colors in it, and then take maybe A and D as the same color, or I don't know, B and E as the same color. But we're just trying to put as many as we can, each one of them, to so you can see like how the pattern comes together, and do all sorts of different things. Because sometimes when you are adding like loads of colors into the same bracelet, it just makes it looks like really interesting. And he's asking, do instructions come with the pack? Absolutely, it will be emailed to you. So there's a couple of pages on how to do peyote stitch, and then you got 4 pages of the pattern itself. Now the pattern is different for each one of the colors. So you will get the color, it's displayed on a website. So you get the pattern, which is displayed with the cutter. So the tanzanite, you're gonna get these triangles. The teal is a stripy. This is a tropical sunset. I really do love the olive garden, the butterfly ones. There is all sorts of different ones. This arrow one with the copper is quite easy as well. We try to do easier patterns this time, and then we could do always sort of all different. I really love the look of this Azora. I think I'm gonna have to make one up, but I can't take credit for all these patterns, because Leanne's been working really hard, and she's been making up the patterns themselves as well. So I'm following her instructions, but then I did the first, that's like 2 pages. So like we did the instructions together. It was a joint effort, let's put it that way. Right, it takes about 2 or 3 hours to make a bracelet, depending on how long you want to make it. And you can't see my wrist. Let's bring it back in, because you don't have to do it all the way around. You can extend the clasp, you can make it wider. So this is perfect if you're making bracelets for other people, if you're making bracelet to style, because you could make your bracelets for 6 inches and then add a couple of inches of extension chain there, and then people can wear it either like further away, or like further apart, or together, depending on the size of their wrist. And all the colors are beautifully matched together. There is like I got my ones, and I'm just gonna pop the teal, because the teal is right in the pot. I got my one in the little pots, of course. and they're all together really easy to use. So if you do getting them, do have a look at those little pots. They're £3.50. They offer as well. They're in a category because they are so easy to use them. And what I would do, and let me just add something underneath here, so if you're not gonna add the next color, so you don't get the glare from my light. But what I always do, and this one I just written the number on by hand, so what's the color number for that one. But when you get your pack, you're gonna have got number will be labeled up. Each one of the bags are labeled up, and I would cut this label out, or no, I like take the label off the bag, and then I would just quite simply put it on the little pot itself, so I know exactly what color in that pot. But they are just so gorgeous. So every single colorway, I made sure that you get some darker colors, you get some lighter colors, you get sort of some in a medium, you get some sort of silver lined ones, you get some opaque ones, you get frosted one, you get rainbow finishes. Each one of them is slightly different. Let me just pick another one up. I'm gonna pick up the violet. Just pop the name back on the top like that. This is my very professional. This is the teal colorway. That's labeled up. That's it. That's I know it. So this is the violet. Again, you got lighter shades. You got darker shades in there. You got these three actually is more. This one is these two are fully frosted. This one is like kind of like soft sheen, I guess, and then you got some shiny. You got rainbow one in here as well. You got all sorts of different finishes within the same pack, but the beads are all going together. So that's what I really do love this one. And don't forget, we're gonna have more projects coming with them very soon. We want to do like little beaded beads, and we can do all sorts of different things, because sometimes like I want to design so many different things, but if you need like 10 different beads and you only need maybe like a few pieces of each bead, then the project can be really expensive. But now we can do it because we got this mini taster bags with the treasure beads. So do check them out on the website. They have got 25% off. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I don't know. I know that they only made a certain amount of up, because each one of these bags have to be measured out. Each one of them have to be stickered up, and there's 10 bags in one kit. So it's quite time consuming to make packs like this one up. So I hope you enjoyed today's live. I'll be back when I'm back. I think next Monday, Wednesday. I've got my diary in front of me, but I'll be back. I'll be back next week. Natalie on this channel. Natalie is going to be with you on Friday. I am back doing Creation Station on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. UK time, and I'm actually quickly going to pop to the website and show you, because the creation packs are available, and we were talking about it earlier, so I just want to show you what we were talking about, like September, October pack. Oh, the picture is not on there. Leanne hasn't updated the picture yet, but oh, I got actually a picture. She texted me. She texted me a picture yesterday. Let's have a look. If I can pop it in for you, the Earth and a Sky, a colorway. There we go. Oh yes, there we go. I'm gonna pull this out here. So this is the Earth colorway I'm bringing in. This is for Creation Station, so do check this one out on the website. Just thinking about it, it's gonna bring it in. There we go. So you get all of those beads, and these are like, there is quite the normal website amount, so 10 grams of each one of those. I think it's 5 grams of the minutes, but we're going to be playing with 15 different shapes. That's the Earth, and I'm just going to bring the Sky in for you to show you. Just one sec, just grabbing those ones up. We will need extra seed beads to match, I was saying. So what I did, this is the Sky colorway. I kind of like matched it in a way that we're gonna, in our August pack, we had size 15s, size 11s, size 8, size 6s, and bugle beads as well. And we don't really need any more than that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna be going back and using some of those seed beads from previous packs as well, so we can use them together and we can use them up. I know this one is going to be costing a little bit more, but Simon has given us a really great discount on this one. These bags are all like £4 to £6 of each bag on the website, so you're getting a really good value on there, and we're gonna have like 6 sessions with them, so it's gonna be great to be able to sit there and play, because most of these sparkle beads do fit together. It's like one bead fit into another one. So for us to create patterns, like you need more than one. And I kind of like started thinking that how I can break them apart, so do them in 2 different packs, do one for September and do one in October. And I'm thinking like, but what if like I decide I want to use one bead from the October pack and I just do them all together. Lucy just posted the link for that one, so do pop and have a look. I'll get Leanne to update the picture on it today, so you can that picture what I showed you will be on the website as well, so you can see what's coming. Usually we say that it's a secret and like you can't open it before Sunday and before we start working with it, but we will add it on there. If you will have fun. I love to, you know me, I love 2 whole beads. I've done a whole USB on it, and we're just gonna play and play and play. Right, my lovelies, I'll be back Sunday on Kitti Robinson Designs. I will pop links up and I'll pop you on social as well. At 7 p.m. UK time, and then back next Monday or Wednesday. I'm not quite sure. I haven't got my diary in front of me, but Natalie's going to be video on Friday. She's doing something different. I think she's doing macrame this Friday, so do tune in for that one. I seen the bracelets she made. She sent me a picture a couple of days ago, and they all really look beautiful. She's incorporating rivolis and all sorts of different bits of pieces. So everybody take care, keep on beading, keep on crafting.